What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stage of your life. Family, man, we have to grow up emotionally, and it is what it is, you know. Today, we're going to talk about the art of letting go. The art of letting go. You know, there's so many people, there's so much all over social media and everywhere about, man, letting go of just the pain and the trauma that we've been carrying from our childhood and all the baggage that we've collected over the years through broken hearts, our inferiority complex, our low self-esteem, our self-hatred, abandonment issues, codependency, just all these other different things that we've been holding on to. And we're struggling with, man, I gotta let this go. I gotta let this go. I gotta raise my vibration and this and all this other stuff. And that's all great. That's great. But we have to grow up and understand that letting go is a process. It's a process. And it's gonna take you time to let this stuff go. Where so many of us miss it at is that we get fixated on, okay, man, you know what? We pick stuff that we gotta let go of. And we never got in alignment with God, universe, the source, the most high, to figure out, okay, what is it that I have to let go of in this season of my life? In this time frame right here, right now, what is it that I need to let go of? Because any of us could pick out anything in our life and say, okay, I got to let go of this. You know, I got to get in shape. I got to do this. I got to do this. And we get so overwhelmed and we get so frustrated with, man, I got to let this go. And that's not what God wants you to focus on at this point in your life. And if that's not what God wants you to focus on, I promise you, you're going to be stressed the heck out. I promise you, you're going to be confused. I promise you, you're not going to let go of the things that you say you need to let go of. That's going to be a battle for you. And what I mean by that, it's going to be a distraction for you. Because that's not what you need to be focused on. And so while you're trying to let go of this, God is like, what are you talking about? We need to focus on this area of your life right here. But you want to focus on this area of your life because you have not gotten in alignment with source. And so you're trying to let go of this. And God is saying, that's a distraction. What are you talking about? Forget about that right now. You got these other issues that are far more prevalent, far more damaging in your life. You got these other issues right here that you need to let go of. That's more important than this right here. I get it, you want to focus on this, but this is a distraction to you right now. Stop being focused on this area of your life and focus on this part of your life. And when you focus on this area of your life that God, universe, source wants you to focus on, that he wants you to deal with it, understand, and grow through, all this other stuff will come into play. All this other stuff will come into alignment. But what we get messed up at and we get confused on is, okay, you know what? We sit back in our logic, in our quote unquote wisdom, and we say, okay, you know what? I need to fix this area of my life. This area of my life has me messed up. This area of my life has me twisted and confused and depressed and da-da-da. And we think this is the problem. When the truth is, this right here may not be the problem. This right here is just something that you're focused on. Something to take your mind off of what God is trying to get you to focus on. We got to catch this. And so this area of your life, whatever it is that you choose or you think that you need to let go of, is really something to keep you out of alignment with God, universe, source, the most high. And so you're focused on trying to get in shape. You're focused on, man, I got to get my love life together. You're focused on, man, I got to get my money right. And God is saying, you know what? That sounds good. That sounds good that you want to focus on that. I'm proud of you that you want to work on that. But the reality is, if you fix this area of your life, a whole lot more other things that you're not aware of will come into play. And you'll get some understanding and some wisdom as to why these areas were messed up in the first place. We got to catch this. This is where we mess it up. This is where we mess up at. This is where we miss the mark at. Because we think, man, if I just get my love life together, If I could just do what I got to do to get my boo or get my money right, then, man, I'll be happy. If I do what I got to do to get the queen back or get my king back or to get this area of my life together, man, then all this other stuff will come to play. I'll have peace, I'll have joy, I'll have happiness, and and all this other stuff. And it's not real. And so you're spinning out of control. And so you're running around with the chicken with his head cut off, just running around in circles on a merry-go-round. And you never get anything done because you're focused on this area of your life. And that's not the area you're supposed to be focused on. The only way to know what you're supposed to be focused on in this season, this time of your life, because you got to understand something. For the rest of your life, you'll be letting go of things. You got to catch this. For the rest of your life. And that's not a bad thing, family. We got to grow up emotionally. We got to understand that when we focus on one thing that's completely outside of the will of God for our life at that moment, you miss it. You miss it. You're not going to have any joy. You're not going to have any peace. You're not going to have that true happiness that you're looking for. You're never going to feel like, man, you're succeeding. You're never going to feel like, man, I'm getting my life together. Because you're going to be so overwhelmed trying to fix this area of life. And God has said, no, you're missing it. I'm telling you what I've had to learn the hard way. Again, I'm 55 years old. I've had a lot of trauma, a lot of things that I've had to deal with. And one of the things that God had to show me was, Elijah, slow down. Slow down. Yes, I get it. You've messed up. I get it. You've been focused on a lot of the wrong things. And so you feel like, man, you got to catch up. You feel like, man, there's so much you got to do. And we get overwhelmed with all the things that we, quote unquote, got to do. And that takes you out of peace. That robs you of your joy. That robs you of your happiness. We got to catch this. We got to understand this. You're going to let that go in due season, at the right time. At the right time. You got to understand, okay, wait a minute. I want to grow. I want to be happy. I want peace. I want joy. I want to live the best version of my life. I want to live my best life. And we understand that, and we all want that. But the reality is, how do I do that? How do I get to that place? You get to that place by relaxing. You get to that place by sitting there and saying, okay, wait a minute. And if I'm focused on all this stuff right here, right now, that's a form of self-hatred. That's a form of me not liking me. And I know we don't want to think like that. I know so many of us think we're so much further along than that. I should be able to just look at my life and see that, man, I need to fix this. I need to get my money right. I need to get my credit score up. I need to get this. I need to get in shape. I need to and we got all this stuff going on. We got all this stuff going on in our head. And the truth is, it makes us feel like a failure. It makes us feel like we ain't shit. Because we've got all these areas in our life that's messed up. That's out of alignment. That's not where I want it to be at. Real shit. And it's hard learning to slow the fuck down. It's hard getting to a place of, okay, you know what? Let me trust the process. Let me trust God, universe, source, the most high, whatever it is that I believe in. And just saying, okay, you know what? If I focus on this one little area right here, right now, that everything else will take care of itself. We don't believe that. Because we had this mentality of life is fucked up. We're fucked up. And so I gotta fix me. I got all these problems, I got all these issues, but if I just fix this part right here, the physical part, if I fix this part right here, where I look good, dress good, smell good, people are gonna think I'm better than what I am. People aren't gonna see my real issues. Because the truth is, we're still seeking to be validated. We're still seeking to be accepted by others. We're still seeking other people's approval. Man, you're 30 years old and you still don't know what you want to do with your life. You're 30 years old and you don't have a car. You're 30 years old and you ain't got $1,000 saved up. The great majority of Americans ain't got $1,000 saved up. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm talking about with people with a job. I'm talking about people with good paying jobs. The great majority of Americans ain't got $1,000 in a savings account at all. The great majority of Americans don't have that type of money laying around, just sitting there. We got to grow up. We got to relax. We got to trust the process. Yeah, we got to do the work. The question is, where are you spending your time and your energy? Because as long as I'm fixated on this area right here, and I'm walking down this path, if that's not the path that God wants me to be focused on, if that's not the path that I need to be focused on in this area, this season of my life, I'm gonna completely miss it. I'm gonna be completely outside of the will or the purpose of my life. You could be doing a good thing and it be the wrong thing for you at that time. You gotta catch that. You could be doing a good thing and it take you completely outside of the will of God. You could be doing a good thing and it be completely the wrong thing for you. And that's where we miss it. And we can't understand, man, how come I'm not getting my life together? How come my finances aren't getting together? How come this area of my life isn't getting better? How come I'm not getting the love of my life? I've been single for 30, 40, 50 years and da-da-da-da-da-da. And we got all this stuff that's going through our head. How come I'm not getting ahead in this area? How come my money's not getting better? How come my health is not getting better? How come my career is not getting better? How come my business isn't blowing up? How come not? And we get so overwhelmed with all of this crap that's not even necessary for you in this particular moment of your time, this particular moment of your life. Real shit. Real shit. Relax. You're good. And that goes against our thinking that I'm okay. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. And I'm always going to be a work in progress. Why? Because the more I learn, the more I understand, and we should always be learning. We should always be growing. But if I humble myself and get myself in alignment with Source Universe, the Most High, for this moment of my life, See, because the reality is you don't know what's coming down the road. You don't know what opportunities are going to present themselves 2 months from now, a month from now, a week from now. And so while you're fixated on this area over here, that's not what God said to do. It sounds good. It's a good thing. But it's the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing for you. And you got to grow up and understand that. You have to grow up emotionally and spiritually and understand that. We keep tearing ourselves down. We keep invalidating ourselves. And as long as you're fixated on this one particular area or all of these areas that you got to fix, that you got to resolve, what you're telling yourself is that you're a fuck up. What you're telling yourself is that you failed. What you're telling yourself is that you're blowing it. And that feeds the I'm not good enough. That feeds the low self-esteem. That feeds all the stuff that they told you that you're a failure, you wouldn't amount to shit, you ain't gonna be nobody, you're never gonna accomplish this, you're never gonna be da. It feeds all of that toxic shit. It feeds that self-hatred within you that you don't even know is there. It feeds that low self-esteem you're not even aware of. And it is what it is. We gotta grow up. Relax. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the motherfucking journey. And that's so hard for us to do as long as we're focused and fixated on all the shit we gotta fix. Growth and development is a great thing. But if you're not careful, you'll fuck yourself up and you'll never grow. Growth and development is a beautiful thing when you're doing it right. See, this is that deep shit. This is that deep shit. Stop tearing yourself down. Stop causing yourself to be so frustrated, so full of anxiety, so stressed the hell out because you got all this shit to fix. Somebody asked me a long time ago as a kid, how do you eat a full-grown elephant? It's like, you can't eat no elephant. You'll never consume an entire elephant, and this shit was going through my fucking head. And what they told me was, one bite at a time, one piece at a time. Understand that. When I get in alignment with God, universe, the Most High, Source, and I say, okay, you know what? My love life is not where I want it to be. My finances aren't where I want them to be. And that is what it is. That's okay. What is it that you want me to work on? Oh, I had this issue right here. You want me to fix this issue. And I begin to understand that issue. However small, however insignificant it seems compared to all these other things. Once I begin working on that issue that God is telling me to work on, I come and I get to a place of understanding of, oh, as I begin to fix those things, I come to grips with the fact that, oh, wait a minute. By trusting God, universe, the Most High, and working on this area, because I fixed this little tiny piece area right here, I didn't realize how this area, this problem, led to all these other problems. Because I fixed this right here, this is what God, universe, source, the Most High wants me to work on. This is what God wants me to understand about me in this season of my life. Once I resolve this, once I grow through this, it opens up the doors and understanding to all these other areas that was messed up. I could have never gotten to the root problem, the root cause of all these other problems, the root cause of all these other problems, these little issues over here. Nose is itching. And so God had to show me, he's like, Elijah, relax. Trust me. Trust me. And that's so hard for so many of us. We don't know how to trust God, universe, the Most High. Because we've been let down in the past. We got into the religious stuff. We studied all this self-help stuff. And the truth is, because we studied all this stuff, we look at our life and it's like, damn, I'm really fucked up. Because we studied all this stuff, it's like, damn, now I'm overwhelmed. I got this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue. And we just go down the list of all these self-defeating behaviors that we have. These self-defeating beliefs that we have. And it's like, why try? I'm all fucked up. I'm all screwed up. You know what I mean? And we give up. We give up. Because we're so fixated on all these issues, never even understanding that if I just trust the process, get in alignment with God, and work on the area of my life that I'm supposed to work on in this season of my life, everything else falls into play. Everything else falls into place. You got to trust the process. And this is why the great majority of us never end up letting go of anything. We hold on to all this baggage, all this trauma, all this pain, and all this other foolishness because we're trying to fix the problem. And we think that these areas of our lives are the problem. When the reality is, these things are just a distraction. These things are just the root cause of the problem. It's like having a cold and my nose is running. I take some medicine to stop my nose from running because that's what I see. And so I assume that meant my nose is running and that's the problem. When in reality, no, there's some other stuff going on within you that you don't even see that's causing your nose to run. The nose run is just a symptom. And we get fixated on the symptoms. And we think the symptoms are the problem. And so we spend all this time, all this money, all this energy trying to stop and fix the symptoms. If I could just let go of this symptom, if I could just let go of this, if I could let go of this, if I could let go of this, if I could fix this, if I could fix that. But that's not the problem. That's the symptom of the problem. And so we spend all this time fixing the symptoms and never addressing, never understanding what's causing the symptoms in the first place. Because we don't see the problem. We see the symptoms. You not having a man in your life, you not having a woman in your life, your finances being messed up, or whatever it is that you got going on that you get fixated on. Those are just the symptoms of underlying problems you don't even understand. You've never even taken the time to get to understand or see or acknowledge because you're so fixated on the symptoms that you see. We got to grow up, man, family. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to even challenge your way of thinking. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking out with me. Happy healing. Peace.